Welcome everyone to Amazing Scale Modelers Sunday Hangout. This is your host for the Amazing Scale Modelers Hangout, Scratch and Jack. Amazing Scale Modelers, a Google Plus community of scale modelers of all shapes, sizes, interests, genre levels, skill levels. However you want to look at it, we like to build models and to like to also share their tips and tricks with one another, learn more about their craft, and even celebrate one another's scale modeling achievements. And perhaps Amazing Scale Modelers is the largest on Google Plus. It is at 1,885 members, many of which are very participatory. They do post a lot of stuff, and we're going to share some of that today. And also joining us are members and some of the members of the Amazing Plastic Scale Modelers who'd like to talk about their scale modeling. We always start with Heath. How you doing, Heath?
I'm very well, thank you, Jack, and how are you?
I'm doing okay, thank you very much. I don't think it's always we start with you, but it's most times we start with you.
Well, it's either Bob, Carwin, or me.
Bob, Carwin, or you, yeah. And yeah. Carwin hasn't showed up. I did invite him, but anyhow, what are you working on?
I have just started weathering my Revell Millennium Falcon.
Oh, look at that. Yes, that works. That works very well, in fact.
With pastels. Oil pastels.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that should work. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure, that's going on acrylic paint, isn't it? Or is it going on like an enamel?
The Revell Falcon is already pre-painted.
Oh, okay.
So by the time I'm finished with this, it'll probably look all old and beaten up and
the hunk of junk that it is.
Yeah. Or as they say in Force Awakens, a bunch of garbage.
Using oil pastels, even acrylic pastels, would be useful too, I would think.
Yeah, I've tried. I was just, I was just wanted to test it, and so far, it's looking good. Looking very good.
Excellent. And you're just using the black color. Yeah, you can probably use a brown too in some spots, I would think.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing that. So. It's just a problem with the weathering. It gets on your hands.
You get weathered, yes.
Not only does the mold get weathered, you get weathered.
How you doing, James? Speaking of falcons.
Yeah, I'm doing fine there. I'm actually coming along, getting close to the end now. I'm actually starting to work on the guns. And I can put up some pictures if you're not ready for that. I can.
Yeah,
let's see.
Right into it.
Okay.
And if you're watching, I've been inviting you, so check your little quotation marks. There you are. Okay.
It's Dirk! Dirk! How are you, son?
So you're going to share? Go ahead, share.
I'm going to share. Start sharing. Okay. This is like where she's at.
Oh, nice.
Right now. Got all the greeblies are all done. All that's left is the guns and that's the underneath, and the sensor dish. Now this is sitting on the stand that I printed.
Oh, that looks awesome.
Yeah, you 3D printed a stand.
I 3D printed a stand for this. Yeah.
Yeah, when you show another shot, you'll see it. But see, there it is. Very cool.
I could do that if I wanted to. I just choose not to.
The thing with me, I choose not to. And besides, I would have broken it up into 4 small prints and glued it together.
Yeah.
It is a paper model. It's not that heavy.
Yeah.
Did it
It's a very
take
substantial
you to midnight
stand.
to print that?
Pardon?
Did it take you to midnight?
Yep. Yeah, it was 10. It was 10 after midnight when it finished.
Wow.
Yeah, there was one version of this I found online, and I regret not getting it because I can't find it now. It was just the regular Corellian freighter.
Yeah.
So it was this with the blue markings. It didn't have the sensor dish.
Yeah.
Just a couple of things, but it was pretty sharp. It was about that size too.
Really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's a hell of a cool deal. Yeah.
I like that stand. It almost looks like the corrugated plastic.
Yeah, it's just that what it is it's a clear ABS that I used, and so it shows the filler in between it. So
Yeah. Yeah, you got a honeycomb filler on the bottom, and then
it's honeycomb on the pillars too. Yeah.
It's a smooth surface. I'm guessing it's a smooth surface.
Yeah, it is very smooth surface. Yeah.
Very nice. That is so cool. So how many hours was that? That was like at least 10 hours of print, isn't it?
That was 11 hours for this print.
11. Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's really awesome.
And it doesn't look like it used all that much
filament? No, I don't think I used that much filament with it.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly how much it was. But that's the thing, and I started on the guns there this afternoon. I got tons of pieces to put together for those. Now, another thing I got a question for is for the out of your comfort build, which this is going to be done in a day, so now
out of your comfort zone for a day.
Yeah.
Can't be too uncomfortable.
We were talking about tanks. Which one did you want me to build?
Oh my goodness!
I have
one
a Sherman.
Go right.
I have the Sherman.
Oh, a Fury, absolutely a Fury, an Easy 8.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That one, or I got a Tiger 1.
Tiger.
Yeah,
Tiger.
All them German ones.
This is actually pretty cool that you're going to be building a tank. There's many of us building tanks for our out of comfort zone. It's just happened that way.
Yeah.
Liam is done with his.
So,
really cool. I would say the Tiger. I would vote for the Tiger. But if you do, I have to give you the split vote.
I go for the Easy 8 because it has all the.
It's got all the peripherals with it as well as figures. So it's got the fact of doing the figures too, which is out of my comfort zone a bit.
Well,
so
the Tiger is the one being used now?
No.
Okay.
It's the Nazi one from.
It's the Tiger 1. Yeah.
Oh, it's a Nazi one. Okay. No. See the things you learn in modeling. How you doing, Dirk? I haven't seen you forever.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yep. Do you have tomorrow off? Tomorrow's President's Day.
No.
Okay. So what you been doing?
A lot of little things. Nothing ever finishing, though.
That's the ADD modeler.
Well, I started my tank, the Patton.
Cool.
Base color on for the German color.
Cool. You're doing a German. I thought you were doing the Patton.
It is, but it's as a German tank, like seen in the movie Patton and then the TV show The Rat Patrol.
Now, do you know where that? Do you know where that is? That you took that screenshot from?
Well, that screenshot was from Patton.
Yeah, you know where?
I believe they filmed that in Spain somewhere.
No, that's Grafenwehr.
Grafenwehr?
Grafenwehr, Germany. Yeah. That's the tank range that they maintain in Germany.
From what I understood, they filmed Patton in somewhere in Spain. Yeah. That's where they ended up going to film the Rat Patrol because that's where all the armor and stuff was. So they just went and used what they had.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of M48s laying around in Grafenwehr.
There it is. I put somewhere else on the side because the kit didn't come with them.
Cool.
Safety wire.
Yeah.
That came out pretty good. And then also, this is smooth. And the actual hulls on these things were actually, I guess they were.
Stippled.
They're stippled, exactly.
Stippled. Yes.
So I had to stipple the whole turret, and then the nose. Did a stippling on all that to give it that texture.
Because it was cast. Yeah.
Well,
it was cast.
they put the paint actually has sand in it that they put on the actual tanks. I'm a tanker, so I know.
Right.
And they're rougher and shit. You just don't want to climb around on them without gloves.
Because you'll get sanded.
It'll take this hide right off.
I would think the paint is an epoxy type paint or enamel some sort. I would
It's the
think.
same thing that the Navy uses for non-skid, except it's OD instead of gray.
I see.
And then something you might be interested in, Jack, is we'll be building this in the start of March. It's a McLaren Mustang.
Uh-huh.
This is going to be
Nice.
for a box stock group build that's going on in March.
I see. Yeah, I'm going to jump over to. I'm gonna talk to you last year, Mike, because everything Dirk is doing, I'm doing. I have the Tamiya patent.
Oh yeah.
And let me just take my camera and get
the back end of that look like? Does it show a picture on the box of what the back of it looks like?
Yes.
Can I see that? Okay, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same as the one I got. All right. Because the ones from the movie are actually different. They don't have that big grill work in the back. I don't know what model it is, but.
Oh my gosh, it's coming out so yellow. So I was trying to show James earlier the weathering that I'm doing on this. I started dabbling with weathering on this, and I'm surprised this is a big light.
Oh, okay, right. Goes on the gun.
Uh-huh. That's right. It actually has a acrylic cover to it. I got some gas tanks going and the machine gun. There, we'll crooked. And so this is the tank's top here, and we were talking about stippling.
I think that version might actually come with the molded look, right?
The texture is not exactly smooth on this.
Right.
Because you can tell, even on a flat surface, you got a little bit of shine on it. There it is. Oh, come on. I don't even know how to... But on the hull itself, it doesn't seem like there's much of a shine. And it kind of has a rough surface. And I'm thinking that the whole thing is painted with the Vallejo olive green.
Mm-hmm.
The olive green primer. And that's the color I'm using. And there is a drab that I'm using on, and it's a little different shade than the little browner than the primer. But I like the primer color better.
Right.
So, and also in the next community build, it's going to be movie vehicles, mainly sci-fi.
Okay.
But I do have a Mustang I'm going to show you. I've been wanting to do this ever since I got back to modeling.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
This I'm really looking forward to building at some point.
But what's the tie-in to sci-fi?
Well, this is not the sci-fi. This isn't sci-fi.
Oh, you're saying
But I'm just saying that you're going to do that Mustang. I'm doing this Mustang.
Oh.
I got another Mustang. I got a Shelby here too, but I'm going to be. I hope to be working with Tony to do the Clear D.
Oh, okay.
The Clear Enterprise D. That's the one I'm going to do next, and I'm really biting a lot off by doing that. So, okay, Mike. He's on the phone. So yeah, I mean, the out of your comfort zone build is turning out pretty good, I think. What do you think, Dirk?
I haven't really seen a lot of people doing anything for it, to be honest with you. I knew Liam did something. He didn't post. Well, he did post the finished pictures. I know you said you wanted to do something, but other than that, I really hadn't seen much of anything coming out. That's why I wasn't sure when I asked you if it was actually going on or not, because I had.
It is, and it's really funny because in the announcement for all people, oh gosh, I was just showing off his stuff yesterday. Hell. See, if I don't look it up, I don't know people's names. If I see your face, I know your name, but I don't see his face very often. He just did the Wolverine.
Oh, yeah,
Chris Pandolf. Chris Pandolf.
He does figures all the time. I wouldn't say that's out of his comfort zone.
Well, he did paper models out of his comfort zone. He was watching the Across the Pond yesterday, and the announcement, he says every time he picks up a model, is out of his comfort zone.
Yeah.
And he's probably one of the best. I follow him. I think he's a phenomenal modeler. So I
haven't talked to him in a while, but we used to talk quite a bit and hang out. But it's been a while. I haven't seen him quite a bit. So
I think his. As a young guy, his life changed. I don't know. I'm just making conjecture that things have changed. Nothing changes here. Yeah. Well, I was just talking to Lou yesterday about Wonderfest.
Mm-hmm.
Have you gone to that?
Not Wonderfest. No, it's too far out for me.
Too far from you.
Yeah. My version of Wonderfest would be Jersey Fest.
It'd be the Jersey Fest.
Yeah, which I understand is pretty much the same thing. And it's crazy. It's immense. It's fantastic.
Mm. Yeah, I'm wanting to go to one of them. Okay, Mike, what have you been working on, mister?
Working on a 1957 Del Rio Ranch wagon. It's a wonderful model. I told you before, I've told other people that this is just a wonderful model.
I've heard nothing but good things about that kit.
It is monogram. I mean, they kick Revels and AMT's butt with this. There's very few things I didn't like about it. And we're an AMT, from the minute you open it, you have nothing but disappointment. It's amazingly highly detailed in a lot of things. It's a pretty amazing little thing. It's that didn't stay, but it's okay. I'm working on it. It's going to be a two-tone. The model is these are your choices of how you build it.
Oh, as a cop car.
Yeah, you can build it as a K9 vehicle, cop car, whatever you want to call it, or a. Now they go with that god-awful Ford mint green. I don't like that. I'm going to go with the turquoise.
Oh, okay.
And but the interior is just amazing. The detail in the interior, the engine's highly detailed. The chrome is in good condition. It comes with really high quality for today's relative to today's models. Your average model, these instructions are fall back with actual photos to the old monogram instructions. It's a hell of a model. I think it's a challenge. They've thrown down the gauntlet, and I think that other companies that model cars are going to have to really step up. I've noticed that there's some new...
That build that you're talking about now is the new 29 that Revell came out with. I haven't heard a bad thing about that one either.
The new Revell B29?
Oh no, the 29 Roadster.
Oh, the 29 Roadster.
Yeah,
that's a Revell.
But good things to say about that too. That and the Del Rio got great reviews across the board.
Yeah, and I don't get to build This other model I'm working on, this is from 1960, 67? Yeah. Yeah, 1967. This is a Lincoln Continental.
Right.
Now, I have physically worked on a one-to-one of one of these. I've worked on it, the engine on it. They came with a V12, a flathead V12.
Right.
Amazingly smooth running engine for an old flathead. One of the interesting things about some of the information that I picked up on, there's a guy that was making motorcycles out of V12 Lincoln engines. And and the saddlebags are water bags, great big huge water bags to cool the engine.
That thing was a beast.
And V860, the flathead V860 that you might find in a Curtis Midget, he was making motorcycles out of them too. 60 being the horsepower.
I gotta say though, when it comes to Revell or Monogram, I can't say I've ever been disappointed. I've been disappointed with AMT, but not very frequently. But MPC, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
well,
MPC.
You just built this bit. That's one of those ones that you hear nothing but bad things about. I mean,
yeah, I have the.
It'll look like what you're trying to build, but it just takes a lot of effort to do it.
Lindbergh, MPC, and a few others. You have to be a hell of a modeler to come up with anything that looks professional.
Oh yeah, I have the General Lee, the 25 scale, and I got a 16 scale. I sure hope they made it's not a bad model as the 25 scale. I'm not gonna take pictures of it and post them.
18 scale, 1/18.
How's that look, guys?
That looks very good. Are you done?
This is not big.
Huh?
It looks good.
Which one's that?
This is the Revell Falcon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's weathering it. Yeah. I'm not going to buy an MPC car ever again, if that's what it comes to.
But the problem is when it comes to that kind of thing, MPC, Lindbergh, there's certain subjects that if you want to build it, you're going to have to go there. It's like the Johan kits. Johan kits, if you look at them, they suck, especially the when it comes to the chassis and stuff. But if you like that body style of some kind of car, because nobody else makes those anymore, then you're going to just have to either get donor parts or just suck it up and build it the way it is.
Uh-huh. Well, yeah, I'll build it the way it is, but they can also not buy it.
But again, if you really want to get that subject.
There's a
True.
Johan
Right.
kit, and on
the
kit is all this stuff to convert a Rambler American to some sort of custom Johnny Quest type cartoon car.
Right.
That's a perfect example. Is nobody builds those old Ramblers except Johan.
Yeah, and the ones that they built the most of, they became dealers' sample cars. What do you call them? Promo cars.
Yes.
And Johan did a lot of promo cars. That's why the chassis sucks. But this is the customizing car kit. 90% of this stuff is just crap that you would put on if you were a kid back in these days. You know, this is in 1963. This kit came out in about 1963.
Right.
And
yeah, I got the AMC AMX car, the Shirley Shahan car.
Yeah, Shirley Shahan.
AMX is out there, and it's the body is a great looking body. It really is, but the chassis is just it blows.
Yeah, I think they thought that they'd have to build a chassis that a kid would take and do this.
I got a couple old glue bombs that I found, and I'm going to try to see if I can't, like a Mustang or something like that, and see if I can't put the chassis from one of those to get it to fit to make it look better.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Not do the same exact floor panel arrangement, but at least it'll look better with the drivetrain and everything, because it's the rear axles. Same with the Comet. The rear axles are just one big solid piece.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah. I think they intended it for to be a kid playing with it on the floor.
Well, that's what the MPC General Lee is. The rear springs, the differential, and the drive shaft was one piece,
Yeah.
and the exhaust and I think it's exhaust is on there too.
Yeah.
The exhaust pipes and they don't come together. They're like at least 3 millimeters apart.
Right.
You see,
So
this
you can't
has
really
a
connect
separate shock absorbers. The springs
Right.
separate from the axle.
Right.
Everything's separate.
I like it to be separate. Yes.
Here's the.
At least General Lee, you can go out and get some the other charger kits, and then harvest the parts out of it, and make it better.
This one here has even the sway bar, and you can see it's molded in. You can't see it through with my camera, but it's molded in. You can see the sway bar brackets. You know, the part that squeaks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Squeak.
It's a built-in squeak with the mufflers and tailpipes, the shock absorbers. Everything was separate. The frame was separate. The gas tank is separate. Everything's, you know. It even has you can see where the body mount bolts are. Is molded in this. It's not part. It's part of the frame, not part of the floor.
Mm-hmm.
It was all separate. I've been gluing it together in preparation for priming and painting.
Wow.
Because the bottom of it, you know, it's all one color anyway.
Right. Well, on this kit, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, where how the wheel is attached.
Yeah.
And you can very much see it on the front.
Yeah.
I just glued it on because, well, this front has it has a holes for an axle to go through, but the oil pan would be in the way. And the metal rod that I got for the back don't even go through because the plastic differential is there in its way. And of course the springs, like I said, the springs, the exhaust system, and here they don't join, they don't meet up.
Yeah.
Even if I kind of like scooch it over,
yeah,
it don't touch. Don't touch. I mean, if it were too long, you can always trim it.
One of the things that some of the modelers that I subscribe to their thing is they'll cut all that out, grind it all out, and they'll take brass or aluminum tubing or both and make their own from scratch.
Well, that kind of makes sense to do.
Yeah,
but it's a lot of work to turn the model over.
Yeah, my models mostly you don't see the underside because I glue them down to a stand that I don't build anything that rolls on the basis that a long time ago I had models that rolled. Mm-hmm. And we had earthquakes, and they all hit the floor.
In contrast, on my Mustang Boss that I have on my cover, everything is separate, and it makes sense. The axle goes right into the wheel. It pops in. It's one of those mushroom ends that you snap on to the wheel, and the springs are separate. And then the front end. It's all molded together, but it looks right.
Yeah.
You know, it all looks right.
I do know people that'll cut out the sway bars and the tie rod ends and that, put in their own. And I say more power to them. You know, if someone's going to be seeing underneath the damn car, I have glued mine down to mirrored surface, but you can't see the detail. I know the details there.
But we do the detail just because we know it's there, but for most part, nobody's ever going to see it again.
No,
right.
It's like I bought this set of hooks and chains for one of my trucks.
Right.
You know, Well, once that gets glued down and painted in that, you'll never see that it's individual pieces and all that. You'll never know.
Well, you know, I got this Munster's Monster truck. This is an AMT, and the rear axle, everything is all separate. But what I found interesting was that the springs, I don't know if you can see the springs, there you go. The springs is a solid piece that actually, I don't know how to explain it, but it really, the differential and the axle are separate from the springs, and of course the drive shaft is all separate, and there's these springs opposite on the side, right there. These shock absorbers right there, those are all separate. What I like about this model, the wheel spin.
I like
And it's one of those mushroom insert to the hole, it pops right in. I actually had to file down the mushroom, it was a little too big. But I do like when the wheels turn like that.
This one comes with they look just like rivets, except they're a little bit long. And you glue them inside the wheel. They're metal rivets. And then you push them into the axle.
Mm-hmm.
And by reason of how that assembles, then the wheel could spin if you wanted.
Uh-huh.
But they actually do look like little rivets. They might be rivets, for all I know.
Right. But you know, I'm glad we're talking about this because I thought I was the crazy one.
No.
Well, you know, it's one of those things where, I mean, if you want a car that's going to come out perfect every time, go buy a Tamiya. You'll pay $50, $60, but you know when it's done, unless you're a really bad modeler, it's going to come out looking great because of the manufacturing.
Yeah,
well, you know something though, this is the tank that I'm building is the second Tamiya kit that I'm building. The thing, my complaint is, and this is going to sound kind of odd, there's too many parts.
No.
What, you don't go
when I chose the tank to do for out of my comfort zone, I got a Tamiya motorcycle too. The Tamiya motorcycle I think has like 20 pieces. It's like ridiculously few pieces. I thought that would be more extreme, but it's not. The tank, however, is, and I'm not used to having so many. Like these gas tanks, these little doodads are two pieces. I mean, they don't mold them as one. They got to make them put it together yourself.
Yeah.
GI cans?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's my complaint. That's where I'm out of my comfort zone with the number of pieces.
You know those little military vehicles I do?
Uh-huh.
Those GI cans, a lot of them have our resin, and they're two pieces that have to be put together too.
Right.
The resin copies.
But
so
the one thing,
the idea being that if they try and mold that, there's three handles.
Uh-huh.
If they try and mold it all in one piece, those three handles won't be separate.
Uh-huh.
That's why they make it two pieces.
Yeah.
The thing about the Tamiya too, I've noticed, is gapping is practically non-existent. And when you put the two pieces together, there's not much of flash. It's easy to scrape off, and it's not like cutting off on some. And filing and sanding and filing and sanding, on like other kits. But in Tamiya, just a little scrape with your hobby knife, it takes. You know what I'm talking about when you put the two pieces together, the seams.
Yeah.
Will have like a raised thing. And when the glue dries, because if any glue seeps through, you gotta let it cure, and it cuts off real easy or scrapes off real easy. I found Tamiya really good with the fitting of everything. But gosh, there's so many damn pieces. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I even got, look at this. I even got this, a piece of string.
Make a tow cable. Yeah.
And I gotta paint it, and oh man, couldn't they just mold it?
They do mold it in a lot of model kits, and it looks like shit when they do.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like I said, they mold in chains and hooks on tow trucks and stuff. And when I put this on and get it glued down and painted in that, you won't be able to tell other than that this looks better than the molded in one.
Well, Well, with that being said, though, the General Lee has very few parts. It took me 4 weeks to complete it, and I hated every moment I sat down at my bench because I hated the kit so badly. But to me, with more parts, it's so much fun to put together because everything fits together, everything goes together, everything makes sense.
Yeah.
I like the way the instructions are because it tells you what sprue it's on and what number of that sprue is it on.
Yeah.
The way it's organized on sprues is so much better than any of the American companies. If the American companies just adopted that concept to have the sprue with a letter and the part with a number, instead of just having like, okay, you got two parts that kind of like are in close proximity, but they are totally different sprues with a numbering that's completely sepeate. It isn't like an
you get
order.
an A sprue, a B sprue, and so forth and so on.
Right, right. But if you're doing like a Revell or AMT, like the axle and the differential and the drive shaft, they could be numbered 5, 32, and 21. It's not like here with the cans, like the machine gun that I have. It was what is it? 4 parts. It was all in sequential order, so you're not hunting for it even on the same sprue. So that's what I like about it. To me, it's fun to build.
Well, there's the American. This is the list of parts,
Right.
and the number corresponds with the number on the sprue and on the instructions. Has the number on the instructions, the arrow, and it all corresponds, so that it's not. Now the ones that you don't use, there's a question mark which one you want to use. You got a choice.
Well, sure. Well, sure. I mean, if it's a 2-in-1 kit, sure.
But these instructions, this is exceptional compared to some of the Revell and AMT and some of the other ones. These very good instructions. I think this. What was the one that you mentioned? The Revell one.
Revell.
Dirk.
The 29.
The 1929, a Model A.
Yeah.
Okay. This is what they're coming up to. The new way of molding things. There's some interesting. There's little hooks and things molded in the sprue so that the actual place where you cut it off of will not show.
Right.
Yeah, what they call undergating. Yeah.
Undergating, exactly.
Yeah, it's undergated. A wonderful idea. Gee, who would have thought of that? It's amazing.
Yes.
It's amazing. The ejection pin stuff. There's not a single one of them that shows. Not in model car, the roof line, the interior of the roof. And then is one of the places they usually put those the ejection pin.
Right.
There's not a single one here showing anywhere up underneath the body of the fender, on the inside of the fender. There's where the ejection pins are.
In
Well, that's where it makes sense to put.
You'll never see it because the inner fender covers it up.
Right.
Right.
Someone paid attention for a change.
Yes. But that's not how my MPC was at all.
No,
there was no fender. There's no fenders in that thing.
Yeah, that's a joke.
MPC is owned by somebody else anyway now, isn't it?
Well, now it is.
Round 2, yeah, but they're still spitting out the same mold, same models out of the same
mold. They just go in there, they take a piece of, they take some steel wool, clean up the mold, and go back to work. Where
years ago,
Revell of Germany has reworked the molds. But they don't have the fancy stuff. What do they call it? Plug molds?
Plug molds?
Yeah, they can actually mold a hollow tube. It's the differential in this thing was just amazingly well done.
Mm-hmm.
Not 2 parts; it's a hollow tube.
Well, that would make sense to keep those seams down, but then again,
We don't mind the seam on the pumpkin, the seam because of the real casting, the genuine casting of a transmission or a pumpkin on the differential. It has a seam. Comes from, in real life.
Mm-hmm.
There's a splash guard it's a knuckle buster on the end of this. This where the U-joint goes in.
Okay.
Nobody else ever molded in that piece of crap that used to get in the way all the time. Nobody else molds that in.
Uh-huh.
In real life, it's a pain in the ass because you can't turn the wrench 360 degrees without hitting this damn thing. You have to take the wrench off and keep turning the bolt. Because that splash, it's a splash thing. That if the front seal starts going, it doesn't throw it up on the body. They molded it. It's there. Mm-hmm. It's like on the real car.
I would like to screen share some of the members' builds. Bob, who joins us usually on the across the pond, is done with his Fokker triplane.
Mm-hmm. D1, yeah.
Excellent.
Look at that wood grain in the propeller. I think that's all decal. I don't know. It doesn't look like decal. It looks like it's painted.
Fantastic.
Wow.
It's well done.
That is very well done.
You can buy that wood grain for those propellers separate. Or you can print it out with your printer and glue it down.
And look at all the rigging he's done.
It looks to me like he went to the trouble actually wood graining it.
Oh, he did. But he's also rigged this, looks like with thread or metal rods.
Used piano wire.
Well, there's also a thread that you could use. It's an elastic thread. That the name of it. A lot of the guys over on.
The Easy Line.
Easy Line, yeah.
Because supposedly you put it in, you might have some slack, but I guess there's a way to. It shores up itself and becomes tight or something like that. It's supposed to be really easy to use.
It's elasticized, so it stretches.
The ship modelers, the ones that have sailing ships, they use that Easy Line a bunch.
Wow. Look at that. It looks like even these looks like 2x4s.
The struts?
Yeah, the struts, 2x4s. No wonder the damn thing needed more wing area because they use very heavy materials.
Well, if you're talking about the beginning of the air age, I mean, it's not like they couldn't, they didn't have fiberglass or anything. There was aluminum, there was aluminium, but it wasn't used as a structural thing.
It was very expensive.
Yeah, especially when you could buy the wood itself was inexpensive. So
he's even got this rigged up.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Nice kit. You did a great job on it.
He most certainly did. Oh wow. Wow.
You did a hell of a job on those grommets.
Yeah.
Very cool. That's what is really interesting is that if this is at all accurate, you got your machine guns there, and you have to fly the plane. And further, how did the bullets always miss the propeller? Here's a machine gun.
That's the secret of World War I. German, they came up with a thing called an interruption system.
And a cam, yeah.
A cam that worked with the engine and the machine gun together to time the bullets. Where the British were stuck putting metal wedges in the propeller and hoping to deflect the odd bullet that would hit the propeller.
Yeah.
Or they put their machine guns, the Lewis guns, way up on the top of the wing, so that they'd miss the propeller altogether. That's what gave the Red Baron such an advantage over everybody else, is the interruption system.
His paint is so good that Google Plus sees it. We can tag the face. That's a true sign of a good paint job.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the rigging there too. I just missed that right here. Nice. This is a really cool build. Bob is very talented. Everything he builds, I really like.
Yeah, he is.
So let's see. That's what I wanted to show. There was something else here. Oh, well, I showed it on Across the Pond yesterday. Okay, where's this?
Was it yesterday?
Cesar, yeah, Mr. Caesar Cesar has gotten his stock car done. That's not, I don't think it's a stock car, but anyway.
Car.
Oh, that's not what I want to see. I want to see this. Oh, yeah, it is a Mustang.
Yeah.
This is something somebody had to tell me to do, is the grill. I never thought of putting black on the grill and wiping it in there to get that effect. But I usually use a primer so it's flat. That's really nice. And the detail, very clean build.
Yeah.
Very well done.
I got to get one of those stands for the body of the car. It holds the body of the car up, and you can paint it, spray paint it, decal it, whatever.
One of these.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I need one of those.
The neat thing is, if you get it, not only do you get this, but you get the turntable.
Yeah, you get one of them.
Oh, really?
Together.
Oh, yeah, so you put it on top, so, yeah. Yeah, when I get my new spray booth done for the coming spring, I got to get one of those. That's going to make it much easier.
I bought mine at Hobby Lobby for like $22. I got those two Timaeus fans.
Right.
Come in the kit.
They're like 20 some odd bucks, like you said, and then you throw the $40 coupon in, it's even better.
Yeah. I threw it comes down to $13 and some change.
Yeah.
But then my wonderful state and city goes into taxes. Back 8%. It actually is cheaper. Postage is cheaper than damn tax. One of the wonderful things about modeling too is you're not stuck with you buy a Mustang kit. You're not stuck building a Mustang.
No.
No, you can build any damn thing you want out of it. If you wanted to, you can build it into a truck.
This is true.
That's a good job. That's an excellent job. Look at the welding he put in along there on the seam work. That's just all the non-skid and
storage and that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the stowage and the see the ammo cans. I've got that box. I just haven't painted it yet. I've got one of those cans, but I don't have the backpacks. I don't have them. But look at that cable, that piece of yarn that you're crying about. Look how that's going to turn out for you there.
Yeah.
Is
you see the back end of the barrel where it goes into the glacier?
Yeah.
It's silver because that moves back. That jumps back that far when the gun fires.
Goes back into the
Well, there's
buffers.
no
Yeah.
paint on that because there's a gasket there. Rubs the paint off.
Mm-hmm.
He's done that very well. Look at the decals. He's done a hell of a job weathering them, beating the hell out of them.
Well, there's your stippled top part there.
Yeah. Yeah, they're rougher than a cob. There's a rough casting that they added more roughness to so that in the icy cold winter in the Ardennes forest, you don't slip off and bust your ass. And that has the T60 tank treads instead of the old ones. Yeah.
There's the ropes. Yep.
Stowage, you know, that the people that look, he's got a helmet hanging. Tankers don't wear those kind of helmets.
No.
So somebody's riding along with him. His antenna is not on. Either one of them.
The brackets are there, but no antennas.
No antennas, probably because they shit canned them. A hell of a job. Look at the wooden handle on the axe and the quality of that shovel and stuff. Just wonderful. The pry bars. You have to have them pry bars in order to change track.
Mm-hmm.
Repair it.
Gentlemen, I have finished my falcon.
Yeah.
Cool. Very
Job
nice.
weathering.
Nice job, Heath.
Yep.
Thank you, Doug.
Yeah, I'm a little heavy-handed on the weathering.
Some things you should be, and that's one of those that you can be and get away with.
Yeah, and
Yeah, listen lightly with it.
Right.
this
That's
is
not wrong either. So.
I like how he's got the splash guard in the side and it's not straight because they never were.
Yeah, they were always bent up by
They're
somebody.
always bent. Because everybody stands on them and everything else, so they always got bent.
and the rust.
Hell of a job on the rust. And well, where you fill that tank there,
That's fuel stains, actually. Yeah.
That's fuel stains because they put a lot of red dye in the fuel so that you use the right fuel in the right vehicles. The ejection, where you load the ammo in, that scan up a little bit on that. See there?
That hatch at the side of the carriage.
Yeah, the empties can go out of there, and you can also shove in fresh ammo when they're reloading from the outside. It's a handy little hatch.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, those tanks, you send out 5 to kill 1, and you might get 1 or 2 survivors.
Yeah.
And that's what pissed the Germans off. Is we had enough production where we could send 5 of them against each one of their Tiger tanks. They called those things Zippos. Bronsons, you know, the Germans, they call it, because you hit them, they'd burn right away.
One strike and they late.
Yep.
This is interesting because I'm looking at this tank right now, and the patent, the spoked wheel here is the drive for
That's the drive
track.
wheel. Drive,
Yeah, drive wheel, and a patent that's in the back.
Yeah, because there's a drive shaft running to the front to the final drives.
Right.
The engine's in the back, but there's a drive shaft running up.
Right. Well, when I was doing mine, I didn't show the bottom part where the tracks are. So this
Totally
the
different.
drive is on the back. This is the back.
It's a totally different suspension and drive line. Yeah, they're not related in any way, shape, or form.
And with Tamiya, you look close, you'll see a little sketch of a battery there.
Yeah, yeah, because they had some of them are radio controlled and
yeah, but these wheels don't turn. They are glued in place. Yeah, but that's what I was noticing is I was thinking Well, I am thinking about like front-wheel drive cars and blah blah blah. Because I don't think of a rear-driven setup. So I was thinking that was the front, and I'm putting the top on it, and I was thinking like this doesn't fit. And lo and behold, I switched it around. I'm like, oh, it's in the rear. Is there one that's more superior than the other? Do you know?
In regards to what?
The power, the transmission of power.
Those two tanks are a couple generations apart, so to speak. One was from Vietnam, the other was World War II. So.
Okay, but I would think if it's in the back, then it's probably going to get clogged with mud and stuff.
The M48 come out at the end of World War II and the beginning of the Korean War. And the M48 was later upgraded to the M60. And if you have a xenon light on an M60, then it's an M60A2. That xenon light that you have for the top of that's for use in Europe only. That wasn't used in Southeast Asia because the heat and humidity, they shorted out instantly. It was a very bright light, the idea was that you'd shine that light and see the enemy tank and blow it up.
Right.
That didn't work in jungles too good.
Yeah.
Plus the humidity and it just didn't work. You will see some pictures of M60 main battle tanks with the xenon light on it, but you'll all see it covered with a canvas cover in Vietnam. The Marines used them. They tried them. They didn't like them. The Army used them. They tried them, and they didn't like them. So.
Well, it's been interesting doing the tank, because if I remember, I was very young when I did a tank, and I did a helicopter. I remember that too. I think it may have been one of those Vietnam Hueys. A gunship. That's what it was. A gunship. So that was so long ago. This is like all new to me.
Yeah. Depending on how well this goes, I got a Stuart next. I would like to build.
Oh, I love the Stuarts and the Lees. I like the Lees and the Stuarts. So ugly. They're so ugly that
the one that I had, though, I sold it. Somebody saw it and they wanted it, so I sent it to Europe to somebody. And it was like one of those things where I send it, I'm like, oh, damn, now I have to get one. I still don't have it. But I got the Stuart, and I think it was from that estate sale. I got like 3 different Stuarts, I think. So.
See, that's the light tank that. Well, we gave a lot of those a Lend-Lease. A lot of those Stuarts were sent to Britain, and ended up in the North African campaign. And you get to paint them. There's a lot of different ways you can paint Stuarts. I think more so than the patents and that. The Israeli Stuarts too. They upgunned their Stuarts and did some things. They upgunned the Grants, and they upgunned the Pattons. Very interesting, some of the things that the Israelis did, and there are kits available and decal sets available to change your stuff over to Israeli.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they did some wondrous things. Even with the
Centurion. The Centurion, they did fantastic work.
Wonderful job on it. Yeah, that Centurion that they put up against the Russian tanks in Egypt, they kicked some ass with those Centurions. Whereas the Churchills, not so much.
Well, it looks like we kind of murdered another hour of scale modeling. There's 2 hours every 2 weeks, one on Saturday morning, my morning, and Eastern. That's 8 o'clock Eastern in the morning. And this is at 7 p.m. Eastern for the Sunday Hangout. So if this is your first time joining us, and if you'd like to see the other past episodes, just go to my YouTube channel at Scratch and Jack, and like it, and even make a comment, and even ask a question. I would certainly make my best attempt to answer a question, but I would most, of course, love to see any comments. I'd like to thank Dirk for joining us, and you know what? We're all tank crazy. When I saw you doing it, I'm like, oh my God! I wanted to tell you stop doing it because I'm doing one.
You're doing two different
Going for the build.
Well, that's right. Yours is a mine's a Tamiya. Yours is a Revell, I think.
Yeah, monogram.
Yeah, they're two different models too.
Yeah, very. Yeah, this is what I noticed when he put the picture up as a very different model. But thanks, Dirk. We have till let's say March 31st for the out of your comfort zone build to be done to move on to the next. We're going to have 4 a year so that you can do your own in between. And Heath, thanks for stopping by too.
Thank you very much.
And making all that noise. Okay.
Oh well, I'm sorry, but weathering bottle kit is very, very loud.
It's okay.
And also putting it together as well.
But you know, you got me practice clicking on everybody's frame so it doesn't switch around to you all. Oh, never mind. Thanks for joining us, Heath.
Thanks. I will be putting photos up of this too, by the way. I will be putting.
Oh, please. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Good photographs.
Yes. Absolutely. And James?
I still want to do. Yeah. I still want to do some things with it.
Okay.
But it should be done.
Excellent.
Bye,
thanks, James, for stopping by and sharing your paper, Falcon.
You're welcome.
Maybe we confused you on further thinking is needed to which tank. Why don't you build both?
Well, I'll pick one.
Okay, whatever you pick, I'm sure it's going to be really cool. Thanks, Mike.
See what the vote says.
Oh, well, yeah, you can put a poll up. Sure. Why don't you put a poll up on the community?
Didn't I? The last time we were on, I showed my tank, so I won't bother you with it.
All right. Thanks, Mike, for joining us. You're a wealth of information, and I also enjoy talking to you because you know stuff.
I'm older. You get to know stuff if you write it down on your wrist so that you don't forget.
Well, you see, this is the thing, though. If it's about tanks or cars, you know it because you've been exposed all your life with them. But if you need anything sci-fi, but you know a lot of sci-fi, too, for that matter, I can't compete with you.
You're not supposed to compete with me. We're working together as a team.
That's true. That's true. And this is, this is Scratch and Jack, your host for the Amazing Scale Modelers Hangouts. See you in 2 weeks for another edition of Across the Pond and the Sunday. Thanks for joining us, and happy modeling, everyone.
Bye.